That is what serious is. An attempt to survive, not by creation, but by prohibition. Instead of putting something there, you try to avoid. You understand? You're building your own jail. You're building your own jail. You're building your own jail all the time. You're trying to avoid. When you avoid, you're building jail around you. You don't create. Prohibition is to try to make something not happen. So when I try to avoid, I protect. How do you protect? You build a castle around you. And when you build a castle around you, you cannot put something outside. You understand? You will see why a person becomes serious. Why do you think a person becomes serious? You can think about life as motion. Anything that is alive is moving. You understand? You agree with me? Anything that is alive is moving. Do you understand? Prohibition is an effort to stop. So everything in life is moving. Anything that is alive is moving. When someone dies, it stopped moving. Are you with me with that? So how alive you are is how much motion you are willing to experience. If someone tell you you are stupid, it's an amount of motion. If someone said to you good morning, it's an amount of motion. If someone tell you you are very stupid, is an amount of motion. If someone tell you go to die, is an amount of motion. If someone said to you, hey, how are you, is an amount of motion. How much you are willing to experience define how alive you are, because you moving, he comes and he tries to stop your motion. If you push against him, you will stop moving. Do you understand? So people come and they try to stop your motion, and you actually push against them and you create this stop. What you want to do is understand them. If you understand them, you don't push against them, they cannot stop you. So what define your success? Two things define your success. Two things, and only two things in life. Only two things in life define how successful you are. Successful people, number one, are not serious. The less serious you are, the more successful you are. That's number one. Number one is how serious you are. You cannot be successful and serious. You will go and you meet people that are really successful, not people that cheat, not people that make money unethically, which it's not success. It's because they're worried, they're not actually happy. Talking about really successful people, you can throw them anything and they're happy with that. They can handle anything. They consider they know everything. They consider nothing is a problem. They are never worried, never worried, never worried. If you tell them, well, I'm worried about something, they'll tell you, worried about what? And you'll say, well, I can die from it. So we will say to you, it's better to die than to be worried. That's the viewpoint they have. Now, can you experience that it's better to die than to be worried? Probably not. Successful people are willing to die and not be worried. You are willing to be worried and not die. You understand? So the first thing, successful people, powerful people, able people, I never worried. They do not agree with that word of worry. They are willing to be ridiculed. They are willing to lose. They are willing to die. They are willing to feel pain. They are willing to anything. But one thing, no, they're not going to be worried. They're going to be happy. You want to be successful, number one, you need to handle the seriousness. You cannot be serious and successful. Number two, you must learn the rules of the game. You must have a total, clear, 100% understanding of the rules of the game you are in, which means you need to know in which game you are and in which game you are not. And on those games that you decide to be in, you need to be the best. You need to know the rules so well that for you, they're not rules. Are you with me? That's the only two things you need. Only two things you need. From everything around you, if you will just force yourself to be happy and decide that you will be successful. And this series of webinars is going to take you, first of all, through the unseriousness and then the rules of the game. And the rules of the game is the game of the spirit, not the game of the physical universe.